tell you, I share some information with you as it relates to the protest action out at the government and the ministry there. Loftus Jura there, our friend there, he's there and will give us a synopsis of the situation on the ground. Loftus, good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Matthias Jr. and your listeners.
Well, I'm happy that you have shown up to give support to the nurses there. What's really going on there as we speak?
I am on the scene, Kennedy Avenue. I came there about 20 minutes ago in solidarity with the nurses' plight for better working conditions. What I was told by some of the nurses when I get here is that they were basically under the ministerial building, basically standing up for their rights in Dominica like any ordinary citizen is afforded to under the Constitution. But after about 10 minutes standing up under the ministerial building itself, they were told by some police officers dressed in camouflage uniforms that they were in protest mode. All persons dressed in white were in protest mode. That is the directive they got from their higher authorities. And so they are asking all the nurses that were directly under the ministerial building that they should get outside of the compound.
Outside of the compound?
Yes, outside of the compound, yes. And so they had no choice now but to be gathered against their wish on the pedestrian crossing on the side of the ministerial building. So that is where they are located now as we speak.
What is the security atmosphere in terms of police? A number of police gathered there or just a few officers?
Well, what I can say, I can see some policemen are gathered there already. They are in camouflage uniforms. Also, I can see, I would want to think, is one of their vehicles, one of the police vehicles are inside the compound as well. In terms of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 6 of them, Matthias Velty, are dressed in camouflage uniforms around the entrance to the ministerial building.
But I'm being told that it was a gathering of the nurses. Why would they think it was a protest?
Well, that is what the nurses said to me, that they were told that the policemen got directive from higher sources that anybody dressed in white resembling a nurse, they were in protest action, and so they were not allowed to be on the actual compound of the ministry. Because what they're saying is that the Ministry of Health, where they are directing their concerns today, is housed in that building. And so they wanted to get to the persons or the authorities up there as it pertains to their concern. I think some of the executive members, based on what I heard this morning, went upstairs that building and actually had a talk with the PS now in that Ministry of Health. And basically the PS in the Ministry of Health, kind of shrugged them off and did not even wait to basically address some of their concerns, but walked away from them. That is the PS of Health.
Wow. Is Nurse Royalty, I know she's the one who actually, sometimes gives a lot of support to the working nurses. She's a retired, if you will, nurse. Is she around?
Well, I saw her around when I came, but presently I'm being told that she and other executive members of the DNA, the Dominica Nurses Association, they went up to the financial center and are going to have a conversation with some authority up there. So presently, no member of the association, the executive that is on site. Hold on, Matt. I'm seeing them make their way. So in a while, I guess we can speak to Miss Rosie. She's making her way up. So in a while, I will hand the phone over to her so that she can give us.
But I'm looking at some pictures, Lofty. Not the kind of numbers that I expected, given the concerns of the nurses now.
Well, Matt, like any other thing in life, everything starts with one step. And what I am pleasantly surprised with the numbers that I'm seeing there this morning, Matt, because it shows that Dominicans, especially the nurses, those in the medical field, are now standing up for their rights and are starting to speak their conscience. And so though the number may not what we expect this morning, but I am pleasantly surprised as to the amount of nurses and supporters who are there already giving the nurses some kind of support.
Is the age range kind of mixed, or very young, very old, or, you know?
Yes, very mixed, very mixed. I could see some nurses there, I believe, based on my information, they just came in the service, and others who are seasoned in the service as well. So it's a mixture.
All right. See, you as Rosie Brown close to you? Is she close to you?
Hold on a while. Let me just pass you on to Ms. Rosie Phillips. That is my favorite.
Hi, man.
Hi, nurse. How are you doing this morning?
Hello.
I said, how are you doing, nurse? How are you?
Hello, man. I can barely hear you. In fact, the area is noisy. Vehicles are passing.
Yeah, but I'm
loud music.
I'm saying there, nurse. Of course, you've been there since 8 o'clock, giving support to the nurses. What can you tell us? Are you hearing me better now?
Yes.
What can you tell us at this time? Can you bring us up to date as to what is going on with the nurses there?
Well, Matt, we came out here this morning with the intention to pose some pertinent questions to the Minister of Health and the Permanent Secretary of Health, because we have concerns, long-standing concerns that are not being addressed, and we're literally, frustrated. I have said before, the morale of the nurses are low. The nurses are leaving so far this year. In fact, nurses are leaving, two nurses leaving a month. As we speak, the Marigold Health Center has been closed for an entire week because of mold infection. Mm-hmm. The nurses at the psychiatric unit are working in an area that is being reconstructed. They have to be wearing masks because of dust in the place. The male patients are faced with that dust as well. This issue is not a malaria-related issue. The place was demolished with the nurses working there, with the patients working there. Well, they moved some, of course, but where they have been moved, they are still exposed to dust. The patients that are in the downstairs of the unit are in crowded condition, and we have to take into consideration. Sometime last year, there was a breakout of I think it was chickenpox, and you have these people in a crowded place over a year. When we got here this morning at the ministry, there were task force police surrounding the ministry. I was allowed in without any problem, and a few of us were allowed in. But as soon as the nurses started to come in such numbers, the others were prevented from coming in. As we speak, all the ministry gates are closed and are guarded by task force, and they only open if you're going to do business in the ministry. But Matt, the problems that are affecting nurses is also affecting the public. As I said, the Marigold Health Center is closed. Marigold has issues, no hospital from whenever, and now the health center is closed. In Wesley, they're in a cramped area. In Newtown, over 2 years now, the nurses are in a cramped container in the botanical garden. We have victimization continues. We have quite a few nurses here who didn't bother about victimization, but many told me they're afraid of victimization.
I said that this morning, yes.
And so they don't come out. So victimization is a big problem in the nursing service. I did go up with one other nurse to see the permanent secretary. While I was waiting to see her secretary to ask to see her, she came out of her office, and I greeted her and told her I would like to see her. She told me her secretary is out and she can't see me today. I went on to the minister's office. They told me he hasn't come in as yet. And so me and my colleagues are outside in the junction of Bath Road and Kennedy Avenue. And basically, stating our case. We want positive health care environment. The International Council of Nurses and the World Medical Association, among, in addition to other international health organizations, developed a document and a concept, positive healthcare environment, and WHO endorsed that. What do we mean by that? safe staffing levels, quality assurance, fair treatment, equal opportunity, occupational health and safety, employee satisfaction, and the list goes on. Can you imagine, Matt, for a health sector, the way nursing, health workers, in fact, are treated, the environment is just not safe. That's why our nurses are living, and sadly, Matt, the doctors, the young doctors are living just as much. Our professionals are living. When the new hospital will be opened, we will have a problem. We will have a big problem. I'm happy the minister brought in some nurses, foreign nurses, to address the problem. But guess what? Our nurses are being stretched further because they have to be assisting these Cuban nurses with their English math. Some of them are speaking English. Some know a little. Some know a little more than others. But everywhere they have to be assisted. You cannot document in Spanish on English notes. You understand?
I understand.
So where a nurse should be giving care, she has to be working with the Spanish nurse to translate, to help her document. We only do that with student nurses.
But you also addressing the issue of nursing transportation as well.
I didn't get that, Matt, because of vehicles passing, echo in your voice.
Yes, it's okay. I'm saying, but you address the issue of transportation for nurses as well.
I didn't quite get that, Matt.
Again, I'm saying to you that the issue of transportation for nurses was also one of the big issues.
Transportation. Yes, transportation remains an issue, Matt, and I am sad to say that the Cuban nurses who we are happy to be giving care, to be assisting, these nurses, I've been told, are being transported to their home on the late shift. And our nurses are left stranded. Can you imagine that? We've been asking since 2013. The job consultants recommended for salary upgrade. Upgrade necessary so they can buy their own vehicles. Dominica doesn't have a system where you have vehicles, 24/7. Give nurses a proper salary, professional pay for professional work. And let us drive ourselves to and fro.
What do you say, nurse, about the people who are now criticizing there on WhatsApp and other mediums that we should have expected a larger number of nurses coming out to show solidarity?
Matt, very good question. The nurses are afraid of the very problem I told you. Victimization is so bad. Look out. Those who have come out there this morning, they're very brave. And guess what? Some of them are going to be approached. Some of them are going to be victimized. And that is why more nurses are not out here.
So the problem is more of fear of victimization.
Yes, that is part of it. I applaud those who have come, and I'm very satisfied with those who have come, because we also don't want to neglect care. So there are many nurses working in emergency care, in critical care. You understand? So these nurses, operating theater nurses, they remain to give care. So we have to consider that. Nurses, we want to make our voices heard, but we're not about neglecting people who need emergency care. Certainly not. So a variety of reasons why we have, not more than we have there, but we are more than enough to make our voices heard this morning. The public has been hearing my voice for a while, and today they're hearing and seeing the nurses here stating that Marigot Health Center is closed. I need, Matt, the Marigot people need the health center and the hospital. The APU work should stop in the APU, and they should relocate those male patients and the staff at the psychiatric unit.
Well,
the last thing I will tell you is that the PSU is planning a meeting for all health workers. As soon as the date is finalized, the PSU will announce that. I myself will inform the nurses, and it's going to be a collaborative approach to this problem.
So where's
is just sliding under our feet.
Where's the PSU as we speak, nurse? Because maybe some may have expected or is expecting the PSU this morning. Is the PSU or was the PSU aware of this?
Yes, the PSU is aware. The General Secretary and the President are out of state. And as I told you, they are planning a meeting for not only nurses, but for all health sector workers.
All right, let me say to you there, when you leave here today, what do you expect? How long you expect this protest to continue or this action by the nurses to continue?
We're living in a while. We're living in a while, and we await the PSU date of a meeting for all health sector workers.
All right, we want to say again, nurse, thank you very much. Is Loftus still around?
Yes, he is, of course. I have to hand him over.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Loftus-Dura. Mr. Loftus-Dura.
I haven't handed him yet. Hold on.
You haven't? Okay, thank you. All right, we are monitoring the situation there outside of the... So, Loftus?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, again, thank you, Lofty, for keeping us updated there with the situation there with the nurses. We'll keep monitoring. Yes, go ahead.
One man who stood up with the nurses is here, Ronald Charles. Just want to have a shot.
Ronald Charles is here. I know he stood up a couple months ago with the nurses. But let's see if we can talk to Ronald Charles. Ronald Charles, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Matt, and good morning to your many listeners. Sorry.
Are you happy that the nurses are now coming out?
Matt, this is not a matter of happiness, This is a matter of rights under the Employment Act. These are basic things that needs to be addressed. It's not about, I am standing up for this because I believe it's more than gone the saturation point as it relates to taking on board the basic, the nurses are asking for basic things. Professional recognition, a support structure, education, management practices, and this one is massive, commit to equal opportunity and fair treatment. The whole issue about the whole environment where they work, what else these are basic necessities that needs to be addressed. Year after year after year, consultation after consultation, the same, we don't get any results out of it. And I will, as I said to you, I will keep on standing with the nurses because I said it before and I'll say it again. It's until somebody falls ill and they are in the environment and they realize how dangerous it is, then we will stand up. This is not about politics. This is about addressing the basic issues of fundamental employment rights and giving the nurses that are very important to this economy, especially after a devastation like Hurricane Maria, to come out and to make sure that they are happy, to make sure that their environment that they work in is one that needs to be embraced.
But Ronald, I was also told from my communication on the ground that you made another very important stop this morning.
Oh, Matt, while I'm on this, and although it's kind of, I want to again publicly take this opportunity to sympathize with the McIntyre family. I made a visit to the home and I met the family members, and I would ask everybody to sympathize with them. As you know, Ava, like you, Matt, Ava has been an inspiration for me, especially in my youth days when she was at the youth division.
I remember.
And she would, we go a long way. So in the circumstances like you too, I was engaged with her at the youth division and was able to do a lot of community projects with Ava McIntyre. So my sympathies to the family. We have to continue to pray for them and to give them strength because we have lost a very important person in the Roseau Valley.
All right, Ronald Charles, I want to say have a great day and continue giving support to the nurses in Dominica. Thank you, Ronald. Thank you for talking to us there. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you very much. Loftus, thank you again. 1029.